And welcome everybody to our session number 3 of the Localized Green Talent Forum. Today I'm excited to welcome Hossein Tor. In today's session, Hossein is going to talk to us about discovering the exciting career opportunities in the automotive industries. We're going to explore how data and AI are used to optimize supply chains, reduce waste, and minimize their carbon footprint, and also learn about the development of electric vehicles. Hossein is a true veteran of the automotive industry. She started with Ford Otosan in 1996 and continues to be with them, rising through the ranks to be Executive Vice President for Material Planning and Logistics. It's a pleasure to have you with us today, Hossein.
Thank you, Ahmed. It's a pleasure to be here also with you today.
And I'm going to jump right in with the first question. If you could just give us a little bit of background, maybe you can share with us your journey and experiences in the automotive industry and how you ended up becoming a leader in the industry.
Yeah, okay. Good morning, good afternoon to all of our participants. As I said, it's a great pleasure to be with you today. I'm a senior automotive executive with the 27 years experience, but please do not make any age calculation. Women are sensitive about it. Some background information about myself. I'm married and have a daughter. She's 16 years old, so she has 2 more years to go to university. And sustainability, also she's interested in sustainability, not only at my work, also at home we are discussing about it because she's also taking a lesson about it. So a very popular subject for us nowadays. I'm graduated from Istanbul Technical University, and also I have a Master of Science degree in the same faculty, and also I am Harvard Business School alumni, I can say. I started working when I was at university as part-time engineer in Turkish Airlines. Maybe some of you know about Turkish Airlines. And then when I finished university, I started working in Ford Otosan. I worked in different functions, in planning, in logistics, in procurement, and I am the leader of supply chain organization right now. I worked in different leadership roles for the last 23 years. I know that these are very long time for the university students, for the younger generations, but time is just very fast. And what I can say is that I didn't change the company, but the company has changed a lot because automotive industry is a transformative industry, I should say. Also, I would like to add some notes about the supply chain. Automotive supply chain is very complex, actually. It starts with the order of the dealers, and it's the process till the vehicle is distributed to the customer, an entire network all over the world. And I think most of the students know the VUCA word abbreviation, just volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. This is the concept that I like really defining the phase that we live. This is also valid for supply chain. This is what we manage in supply chain. And what happens actually during the pandemic period, also not only the supply chain leaders, but globally supply chain disruption, resilience subjects or risk management start to be discussed within the global arena. And what I do see is that not only COVID-19, but we have a lot of experience to share. And funny stories, of course, like the floods, fire, or Suez Channel blockages, ship shortages, economic fluctuations, commodity fuel price changes. A lot of things may happen, and it has
VUCA.
Yeah, a lot. It impacts your supply chain and how you manage it, how you manage your risks, how you mitigate it, how you solve the problem. So it is a continuous problem solving, I should say. So what I do believe is that successful supply chain organizations are adaptable to the changes, they are resilient, they are transparent, they are connected within the whole ecosystem. And I think this is what we do in Ford Otosan. This is the secrets of our success. And when it comes to the leadership, what I do believe is that leadership is about people. It is about how you inspire, how you encourage, how you coach people to reach their best. And the answer to that is being the role model. And how being the role model then? I believe the answer is authentic leadership. The definition is Bill George's definition. He says that understanding the purpose, practicing solid values, leading with heart, establishing connected relationship, and demonstrating self-discipline. I think this is the authentic leadership. And this is built on your character, being genuine, but not being perfect. You can make mistakes, but what you learn from your mistakes. So as you ask about the leadership, so I think my difference as a leader is that being a lifelong learner, having a growth mindset, and trying to lead by heart. This is the difference that I did try to create.
And actually, that transitions into something which is actually the topic of today's conference, which is the green economy and sustainability. And I'm sure as we go into this session, we'd love to hear from you about how sustainability is also, right? It's in line with the change, in line with what's new, what's coming, and how as an organization you can adapt to, I guess, hopefully what will be the new norm, right?
Yeah, you are right. But I can say, okay, you continue. Yeah, please.
So I was just going to ask actually because you touched a little bit on leadership and we know that you do a lot of leadership role. You take a leadership role, particularly when it comes to young women talent coming into the industry. So we have a lot of young women talent here today with us from the Middle East, Africa, and all the way to LATAM, actually, aspiring to have careers like yours. In your work to empower young females to becoming leaders, can you tell us a little bit about the work that you do in that area?
Yeah, sure, of course. I have some volunteer works in social aspect programs, especially to encourage young women in the leadership roles and also younger generations to achieve their best. What I do believe is that, as Gandhi said, be the change that you would like to see in the world. This sentence really explains my leadership motto very well. So I'm committed to the empowering of women in all the industries, especially in automotive, and also empowering younger generations. I am the active member of Women on Board's Turkey Association, which we aim equal representation in each level of the management. We are focused on boards, a niche subject. Then there may be some questions why you are focusing on boards. What we see is that mainly it is valid for most of the countries. University students graduated from universities, equal representation we see. And then when they come to the business world, we see also roughly equal representation. But when climbing up the leadership roles, we see that women ratio is decreasing. So how we can improve it? We are concentrating on boards. So if we can achieve it on board level, then it will be having a cascaded impact through overall organization. Right. So the aim is that actually equal representation in each levels, on the field, on the office, or on the management roles, because we are equal at the life. So this is something that I am passionate about in addition to my work. Also in Ford Otosan, we are having similar programs. I know that there are some students from STEAM functions. We are trying to encourage women for the STEAM roles. We are trying to encourage women for the technology and innovation roles. And our aim is also increasing 50% representation in each level within the few years' time, I can say. So company values also, this is something also I'm passionate about.
Amazing. And I'd like to actually just jump a little deeper into the world of sustainability. because supply chain in particular and sustainability, you said the automotive industry is heavy on supply chain. I would love to just get a sense from you on how you've seen the automotive industry evolve over time. How are you seeing it evolve, particularly with regard to sustainability, the green vehicles that are coming up, autonomous vehicles? And can you give us a sense on what Ford Otosan, what role are you guys playing in that evolution?
Yeah, a lot of things that I can say. Let me try to explain it briefly. Automotive industry is a transforming industry worldwide. Previously, when we were discussing about industry, let's say 15 years ago, 20 years ago, we were saying that this is the industry with high entry barriers. New players, it is not easy for the new players to enter to the industry because of the heavy investments and the network required, dealer network and also service network required worldwide. But what has changed is that the electric vehicles, the green technologies, change the game. With the Tesla, it is very well-known example, but not only Tesla, also there are some Chinese players, like I do remember the name of BYD. There are also some other players from Far East entering to the game. The game has changed. Now there's a new energy economy worldwide. Not only the electric vehicles, but also electric vehicles, charging stations, new technologies. This is something driving the change. On top of it, what I should say, also autonomous driving features. We see that our cars, not autonomous, but every day, some features are added to our cars. And this is also changing the game. So more technology driven. Now automobile is something like just it is how the comics present it. Automotive becomes something on wheel sort of thing. So this change now also make the traditional OEMs, including Ford also and Ford Otosan, to make investments in electric vehicles and also in autonomous vehicles, I should say. What I do see the industry is increasing for the automotive from this electric vehicles from this perspective. For example, in Turkey, penetration rate is slower than Europe, but also Turkey signing the Paris Agreement, Paris Climate Agreement. I do see that it will also, and approving the Paris Agreement, it will also increase. So as a manufacturer, what we are doing, we are making heavy investments on green vehicles. So first, our products that we produce, electric vehicles, and this ratio will be increasing in our production portfolio. 2020, we said that we are making $2 billion investments to our plants, $2 billion to our plants and to our products, which includes electric vehicles and also new generation vehicles and the new plant infrastructure. This is what we are doing. And also we said that for long term, what is our sustainable strategy? And we said future now, and we published our targets, which is addressing climate crisis. What is our reaction to that? Energy management, water management targets and efforts. And what I can say is that from our vehicles perspective, by 2030, for passenger cars, zero emission target is available. For light and medium commercial vehicles, we are the main light and commercial medium vehicle production center of Ford Global in Turkey, 2035 and 2040 for heavy commercial vehicles. So you see, we have a time plan for years, which our R&D centers are working on this new technologies, not only battery electric vehicles. When we discuss about zero emission vehicles, we discuss about the hydrogen fuel cell or hydrogen tank technologies, which the teams are working on that. And I mentioned about autonomous driving features. Also, there are some pilot studies continue for level 4, and it is for heavy truck, because when you target heavy truck, it is for the sustainability, environment friendly, and it is safer because heavy trucks are everywhere, and logistics industry I'm also responsible for logistics. But I had to say is that we have high carbon footprints and how we can reduce it. As an OEM, we are trying to reduce it with the products that we produce. I can say.
Nice. That's actually those are very ambitious targets, and I think very challenging. I would assume.
Right.
So can you maybe give us a little bit of a sense about what are the key challenges as an organization like yours is transitioning to become more sustainable and with the target of zero carbon footprint for the passenger vehicle? Amazing. What would be the key challenges in your industry to achieving those targets? And then I want to transition into roles and opportunities that will be available within your industry.
Yeah. What I should say is that, of course, there are challenges. All of the OEMs are facing, because it is possible to produce carbon neutral products, but from customer perspective, what is the value you are offering to the customer? So the cost and also the investment cost and running cost of the customer, infrastructure that customer will use these vehicles are really important. And also there are some other dilemmas. You're producing electric vehicles, but when these vehicles are charged, what is the source of this electric for these vehicles? Is it the green energy or is it the traditional non-renewable resources, I can say? Also, not only the product, we discuss only the product, but what about the facility that you are producing it? Is it carbon free? Or what about we are discussing about supply chain. So what about the suppliers? How your suppliers are reacting to that? So I think it is all the ecosystem, the manufacturing facilities, all the operations of the OEMs, and also the suppliers, how they are added to that strategy. This is the importance. So these are the discussion points. It is easier for an OEM to manage his own production facility, but when it comes to the suppliers and tier N management, maybe tier 1 is easier, but tier N management, how you do that? These are the challenges or that we need to be managing it. Also, what I should mention, another factor is that the local regulations sometimes can be different than the global ones, like European Green Deal, dictating some of the green initiatives, which I personally support. So local regulations should be also aligned with that. As for the Sosan, we are just trying to run as the ambitious targets I share for our products. We are trying to run behind that regulations. And also for our facilities, we say that by 2030, we will be carbon free. And also for logistics operations, by 2035, we will be carbon free. So we continue our ambitious targets through the entire supply chain, I can say.
So in my experience, a challenge in an industry translates into an opportunity, into a job opportunity, right? Because somebody has to take on that challenge and meet it. So can you give us a sense of, if I'm a student and I'm interested in the automotive industry, I'm also interested in sustainability, what are the types of roles and what advice can you give to that kind of a student looking to enter into this career, into this industry?
Yeah. For the students, what I can say is that automotive industry is having a lot of opportunities from a lot of functions available, from marketing, production, sales, supply chain, and also finance, R&D. So you can work any of these areas. Also, for the sustainability perspective, we do see that there are some functions now handled in the organization, and there will be some new functions added. Right now, these roles are fulfilled with, let's say, our employees doing their job, and in addition to that, they are handling some of the responsibilities. But what I do see is that when I look at it from the Google also, I see the new job titles like circular economy strategist or carbon emission analyst or sustainability data analyst, supplier sustainability auditor, ethical sourcing leader, renewable energy integration specialist, or regulatory affairs specialist, green logistics analyst. So a lot of new, some of them are available, as some of them are available in the existing job descriptions, but with the increased transformation, what I do think is that these subjects will be primary focus of all of the industry and especially the automotive industry. So for the students, what I can say, there may be different backgrounds for the students. Stay informed about what is happening in the world, first of all, because everything is changing very fast. Concentrate on what's happening. Concentrate about the follow automotive industry because it is changing fast and what is new, what is added. If you are patient about sustainability, look for electric vehicles or supply chain sustainability practices. Look for circular economy or renewable energy resources. Also, there may be some new startup opportunities there. Concentrate on that. Seek for internship with the OEMs. Or there are sometimes some innovation programs or some projects which university students can join. Try to find these opportunities and join it so that you can get the flavor of the industry. This will be good. And try to develop your technical skills, I would say. If you're interested in data science, you can try to combine it with the sustainability analysis and optimization tools. If you're not interested in data science, you can still use some sustainability available tools. Try to understand, try to sense what we are trying to do. And also, I do think that soft skills are always important. Communication and data analytics or problem solving, leadership capabilities, these are the universal values that every industry will need it. And I try to explain the change here, the transformation of the industry. So what is important, I think, here nowadays in business world is that adaptability. How you adapt to changes as personally, as a company also, how you renew yourself. So for this, it is important that you are to be the lifelong learner. For example, I started having PhD 2 or 3 years ago. Still struggling, still couldn't finish. But really, we need to be learning because every information is changing fast. So we should be open to learning and keep growth mindset. And what I would say is that also maybe keep your dreams. I think positive changes start with dreams. Especially this is very important for young generations, I would say.
And that's amazing. And I see that somebody had raised their hands or wanted to. If you would like to ask a question, please do so in the chat or in the Q&A section. We have just 2 minutes left, so I'm going to ask you just one question. I think because a lot of what you've said, and I know that this is true for different industries. Soft skills are important across the board. Teamwork is important across the board. Leadership is important across the board. I think one of the key things that I think could be very helpful for somebody looking at a career in the automotive industry or supply chain is to read up and get informed about the changes that are happening in the industry. And with that, I'd like to ask you, so where can I go? Because that's often the internet is huge, right? So sometimes finding where to go to read up and get updated about an industry can be quite a difficult first step. Do you have any recommendations, either on the automotive industry or in supply chain in general?
Yeah, what you can do is that for the automotive industry, you can follow the brands. For example, here, if you enter our website, what you see is that we are sharing our strategies, we are sharing our business plan, because we are a publicly rated company, so we are open and we are transformative. And also for the sustainability perspective, we have a sustainability report available there. So the first resource will be the brand itself. this is valid for the rest of the OEMs. And also there are some supply chain logistics, especially magazines available. They are making some also conferences worldwide, and they share sometimes as free their speakers records. So they can also look to that records. But also Google, you can Google a lot of things, and there are some market data available. For example, Europe, how many vehicles are sold, or also in Turkey, how many vehicles are sold. This data available. So it is important really where you get the data and what you would like to capture about it. So a lot of data available. You need to be looking at it. Main resource will be OEM itself, and also some companies dedicated to that work, and try to join the free conferences, and also try to join the OEMs hackathons or projects, because we are publishing it via our internet website. I think the rest of OEMs are also doing it.
That's great advice, and with that we're very short on time. Unfortunately, we didn't have a lot of time. I would have loved to continue to talk to you. It's a very interesting industry. We're at the intersection of automotive supply chain and the green economy. It's truly an interesting time. Hossein, thank you so much for your time today. It was an absolute pleasure. I saw some questions that we might not have been able to get to, so I will keep track of that, and we will try to reach out to you accordingly. With that, I'd like to actually invite everybody here today to transition onto our next session, which actually leads on quite nicely with this, with the idea of distribution and supply chain. The session is about reimagining food production and distribution, and the careers that will be transforming it. So I recommend all our participants, please head over to that session. Hossein, once again, thank you so much for your time today. This was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much. Also, I would like to thank you for inviting me, and I wish success, good luck, and happiness to all of you. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.